Hello, Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and welcome to another episode of Be Your Own Boss. This one is about choosing your business partners and choosing them wisely. So, I have some experience with having made some bad choices with staff and with business partners, and I just want to share that. I had always said I don't want to have a business partner. I've never before now. I have a business partner right now, and it's because I made a good choice, and that's working out. But in the past, I was very timid of taking on a business partner, and there may be someone else that could help out the company and do well and help it to accelerate, but you're then responsible to that person. And not that you're not responsible to your staff or to the other people around you, even if you own it 100%. I'm just saying that you have a different kind of responsibility to them, and they have a different kind of power. They can tell you, no. That's a big deal. So, the first question is whether or not you actually want to, take on a business partner. And so if you can do it all on your own, I recommend that. Now, that works for, small and medium-sized companies. For the really big companies, there's not much way around it unless you grow into a big company. You can't just start off the bat, you just don't have the resources as a single person usually to build a big company right off the bat. A lot of times that resource is money. And so, and then even when you are building big companies to attract the really big players, they want shares or whatnot. And then you have a board of directors that you're answering to. So I had a board of directors that I answered to at a time, but it really, they didn't really have a whole lot of influence over me. But as we grew larger, I knew that they could. So nowadays, I do have a business partner, and like I said, that's working out well. But I tried once before, and I had a business partner, and that did not work out well. So, when you are working with someone else and you are forced to work with them because they are one of the owners, you got to think of it like a marriage. You got to think of, this is in for the long term. They're going to be here as long as the company is here. You are not going to, get away with making your own decisions. It's got to be joint. Now, you may have primary control. Maybe they only own 10%, but they still have 10% say, which means that sometimes they are going to win an argument. So, I had this experience where I took on this business partner that was extremely smart, way smart. I mean, like high IQ smart, and just a really great person and everything. But when it came down to doing business together, there were a lot of hang-ups which I couldn't understand. And there were a lot of objections to things that I was really sure needed to be done. And, it all boiled down to that I feel like maybe the person was mentally ill. And I'm sure if they're watching this, they're going to go, holy shit, I'm so pissed off now he said that. Well, I'm not naming who you are, so don't worry about it. But, and working with someone who doesn't make rational decisions, that makes decisions that are based off of fear or anxiety or off of emotions, instead of decisions that are based off of business logic, it doesn't work out well. And there's also something else that's needed. When you're building a company, you need somebody who's a risk taker. Because you can't just go out there and say, I'm not going to take any risk. We're going to build this company. I'm not going to take any risk. Okay, your growth is going to be like this big every month. You got to take those risks so that you can grow leaps and bounds. A good company growth, to me, is, 20% a month. And if you are limiting yourself to 20% a year, especially when you're starting out, unless you start out saying, oh, we're doing $100,000 in sales first day. Okay, next year we're doing 120. Maybe if, that pays well. But it doesn't work that way. It needs to be, this month we're doing 10,000. Next month we're doing 12,000. The following month we're doing 14,200. The next month we're doing 16,000, 400, whatever the math works out to be, 20% each month. And if you go beyond about 33% a month, that can cause other problems. I actually encountered that with one of my companies where we were growing 100% a month, unthrottled. And that was very, very difficult to keep up with because we couldn't get the staff in fast enough. We couldn't get the technology in fast enough. 100% a month. I mean, think about that. That you're at 5 people this month. You're at 10 people this next month. You're at 20 people the third month. You're at 40 people the fourth month. How do you scale that fast and get quality people? I mean, you're spending all your time interviewing and hiring. And interviewing, you got to take the time to do it right. Because while these people aren't business partners, they are representatives of your company. And they are the people who are going to be, they're acting on your behalf. So I learned through this that you have to choose your business partners very well. And that, business partners, unless there's some corporate environment where there's a board, there's people that do, you have a board of directors and you're doing votes and maybe there's public shares of the company or whatever, that might be a different story because you all have a shared vision. You follow the CEO, you follow the CEO's vision, and you do, you execute the plan. But when you have like a single business partner, if you don't know them well, it may not be a good idea to have them as a business partner because a year later, the ugly's going to come out. And they're going to say, you know what? I fully understand what we're doing now. Or at least they think they do. And it has to be this way. And, that's a normal part of a business relationship. But you got to be able to look at that ahead of time and recognize that. And then if you're working with people who are, let's say, mentally ill, which happened to me in one case, it'll make you fucking crazy yourself. Sorry to cuss, but that's how passionate I am about this, how strongly I feel about this, that this person, almost completely destroyed what we were trying to build from their fear of executing, of getting out there and doing things. If you have the fear of failure, that's good. But if you have the fear of failure so much that you cannot make a decision or you can't execute anything on the chance that it's going to fail, you are not an entrepreneur. You need to go work for someone else. At best, be an intrapreneur. There's some people who are just not built for the kind of stress of owning a company. And that stress can be very, very high. I actually believe that my lifespan will probably be a little bit shorter because of the amount of stress that I deal with all the time with operating the company. And you're never off duty. You may think that you are, going to a movie or whatnot. If you turn off your cell phone, you might come back to find that the world has gone to hell. And you have all these text messages of, call me now. You're always on call. You're always, that doesn't always have to be. You can have really good people in place. But when shit hits the fan, it goes uphill. And it goes, to you. And there's a stress involved with that because you never have complete downtime. it's only partial downtime. And I did back in 2010. I went on a cruise for 3 weeks, Australia and New Zealand. It was fabulous. And internet on the ship was very costly. I think that we spent, just to get emails every day, just to check email, download your email, read them, respond, reconnect, upload the email. We spent about $100 for 3 weeks because we had to do it via satellite. And then we couldn't always connect all the time. And even at that, you're going, what if shit hits the fan? Okay, well, this day at port, we're not going to be going out on the excursion we had planned. We are going to find the nearest internet cafe and hook up so we can talk via Skype and get shit taken care of. And maybe they have a fax machine. Maybe there's something that needs to be signed. You got to fax it to Australia, or wherever. So, anyway, just use caution. If you can do it on your own, do it. The way the most recent company is we took some loans. We took some private loans, and they were high interest because, in all honesty, it was hard to prove that we could replicate this again. And we did. We were successful. Everybody's paid back, and everybody got paid back very handsomely for a short-term loan, but there was high risk. So, so if you can do it with a loan, great. A traditional bank loan may drive you nuts as well. A friend of mine did it, and they spent months on putting together all of the paperwork for their bank loan, and they got their bank loan, and it enabled them to go do their business, and they still failed. It happens. It just does. So even though they did all the due diligence and a bank, which is the most stingy out of all the loan companies, they said it's okay. So anyway, I caution you to be very, very careful in the area of who you choose to be your business partner, and they better be a rock star. Not really. I mean, rock star in the fact of that they are awesome at whatever they do. And if they are just money, you ever watch the show Halt and Catch Fire? It's a great AMC show. It's about the birth of computers and about personal computers. And the stuff that they talk about in there is shit that I remember. But they have this person who has continually put money into the company to make it work, and when shit hits the fan, that person comes in and says, "Screw all of you, I'm taking over," even though he really didn't understand how to run the company. And somebody gets that invested with money, they feel the right to do that, and they may do that. So a silent partner can even come in and say, "You know what? I put so much damn money into this, and you guys are losing money. I own the company." And you know what? It could be an internal fight that they could win. That's really sad, but it's true. So anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, and take care. Make good decisions with your business. I'm Marky Dragon. Catch you later.